What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with a true hoot and a holler. Hey, it's a true banger, if you will. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you do. And also, ladies and gentlemen, in 5 days from today, on June 11th, Goblin merch is officially dropping. Be ready to rumble. Follow me on Twitter for notifications as soon as that drops. Have your notifications for tweets on, baby. Link to that will be at the top of the description. Hey, it's been a long time coming. The merch drop is finally inbound. I want to thank you guys for the support, allowing this to happen. I'm really excited. Honestly, I just want to wear my own shit, all right? Listen. You guys are awesome and you can buy it if you want, but I don't give a fuck if none of you buy it. I just want to wear my own sweatshirt, okay? So, hey, if you want to buy it, hey, go for it. But if not, hey, I'm still wearing this shit and you're going to like it. But I think you're going to like it either way. It's good quality, hey, affordable prices, hey. Cocaine shirt, bang. Logo shirt, bang. Fucking hoot and a holler shirt, bang. Over with. We got them all. Hey, be ready for that drop, baby. Also, this video is kind of a little different. This isn't necessarily one story. I was actually asked this question the other day where a viewer had asked me if I had ever been finessed by a plug, and it kind of gave me the idea for a video topic where I would sit down and talk about some of the worst drug dealers I've ever had, right? Because the best plugs, they always get talked about because they always create all the stories, right? But the worst plugs never really get discussed on this channel. Or if they do, it's very rarely. So there's a few runner-up honorable mentions for the worst fucking drug dealer that I've ever had. And most of these were actually surprisingly fairly recent plugs. You see, after the Coke Chronicles, a real street weed drought kind of began for me, because my primary plug literally since I started smoking was the same guy. It was Cody's older brother, but Cody's older brother went to jail. So now I'm sitting here and I don't really have a plug for some super top shelf shit. His brother was always my guy. And we would try to go through his brother's guy for it, but the problem was the guy was far away, and he'd always refer us to other people that were also far away, and it was a pain in the ass. So recently, I've kind of gone through a period where before the dispensaries were open and weed was legal, where I really had to run through some sketchy fucking plugs. And my favorite, or not my favorite, but I think the most interesting one on this list, the most unconventional one, was probably my neighbor when I first moved out of my house. You see, I moved out of my mom's place back in October, and for those of you guys who were watching my streams back then, I used to do some fucking struggle streams, dude. We literally had no air conditioning, or we had no heat in this house, and it was like mid-October in Illinois, so it got really cold really fast in this crib, right? On top of that, the whole house was on a slant. It was a complete shithole. Our rent was like $600 a month for a 2-bedroom house. So if that gives you an idea of A, the kind of neighborhood, and B, the kind of house we were in, I think it spoke for itself. There was no oven, there was no washer or dryer, there's no, of course, no dishwasher. If you plugged in too many things to the outlets at once, the power would go out. So we had to literally ration our electricity. It was kind of fucked. I have no idea how I made it through living at this house, but we had our priorities there. I had gigabit internet, and I always managed to have weed. But when I first moved down here, you see, I had 2 roommates. I live alone now, but I had 2 roommates. And my 2 roommates and I, we didn't know anybody down here when we moved here. We just moved here to save money. We didn't know anybody. So we met our neighbor pretty early on, and our neighbor was this super country fucking hillbilly redneck guy, big ass pickup truck parked out front, always outside smoking cigarettes while his kids are out there fucking playing with random ass toys, little Billy Joe and Joe Billy or whatever their names were, who fucking knows. But this guy was a character, because he never seemed like he would be the kind of guy to sell bud, right? However, we learned a lot about this guy very quickly because he would always be out front arguing with his wife, right? We learned early on, we didn't learn this through him, but we learned through hearing their arguments while we were inside that his wife had a severe ecstasy problem, and she liked to go do Molly with other men. And he would scream at her about this in front of the kids. So like the kids would be out there playing on their tricycles and be like, "Why don't you go do your fucking ecstasy with Mikey, you dumb bitch?" And she'd be like, "Fuck you! I hate you." And then she'd get in her little Honda and she'd speed off and go do the ecstasy with Mikey and come back, and then they'd scream again. It was hilarious. But we found out because we come down there with a good bit of weed, right? We came down there with a couple zips, but we smoked through it really quickly because we had the, like, none of us had lived on our own before, right? So we had all gotten together and we all finally had our own place, no parents around, and we were like, yo, dude, let's smoke up all day long. So we blew through those couple zips in a couple days. We were going hard, right? We were just smoking all day long. So we ran out of weed pretty quickly, and we hit up Cody's older brother because Cody's older brother knew some people in the area that we moved to, right? And Cody's older brother, he's like, oh yeah, go hit up y'all's neighbor, right? He serves. I don't know, like, I don't know exactly how far back him and the neighbor went, but he knew the neighbor. So we send one of our roommates named Josh over to knock on the neighbor's door. I give him $20. I'm like, Josh, go knock on the neighbor's door, see what it'll give you for $20. We send Josh over. He knocks on the door with $20. Comes back with a handful of some fucking swag, dude. It wasn't complete Reggie. Like, it was weed, and it got us stoned. But that's about it. No idea what strain it was. It was all the same shade of green. It was textbook low-tier mid, right? Like, it was smokable, but only because we were really desperate. Like, we were smoking on blunt roaches at this point, right? So Josh comes back with this handful of weed, and we're like, holy shit, dude, this is it. So we're like, bro, this is the fucking plug. And we send Josh back over again the next day. We smoke all this bud. It wasn't there. He literally 20 grammed us our first time. He gave us like a gram, right? We send Josh back the next day, and we're like, Josh, dude, you got to ask him if he's got any better shit, dude. Josh is like, all right, bet, dude. I send him over with $40 in his hand this time. He goes over with $40. He comes back with a bigger handful of weed. I'm like, did he have any better shit? He said, oh, yeah. He said he's getting some better shit pretty soon. I'm like, bet, dude, how soon? He's like, I don't know, but the guy gave me his phone number, so I'll text him, right? So I'm like, all right, bet, sounds good, right? So we chill out. We smoke this 8 to fucking mid, dude. It's whatever. It's mid. I mean, it is what it is, dude. We smoke this shit. Next couple days roll by. We send Josh back over to the guy's house. He texts the guy doesn't answer, but we're fiending so hard and we see that he's home. We're like, dude, just go over, bro. We're fiending so hard. So we send Josh over. Once again, we still don't have a plug. We'd all been like on Tinder trying to find plugs, and this is like the first week of us being there, right? So we send Josh over again. And this time, Josh is gone for a long ass time. This time, Josh goes, and he's gone for like an hour and a half. And me and Cody, my other roommate, we look out the window and we see Josh just chatting with the guy, you know, like 20 minutes in, we see him just chatting with the guy. So we're like, oh, all right, he's just chatting him up. Cool, maybe we'll get the hookup this time, you know? The guy takes Josh in his pickup to go meet his plug because the neighbor just now decides to tell us, yeah, I'm not a drug dealer. I don't have any better weed, right? He's like, yeah, I sell weed, but I don't really think I could sell as much as you guys want, right? I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, the most we've bought so far is an eighth. You can't sell us an eighth? This guy, like, he said, like, I'm not a drug dealer, but I sell weed. And I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, who are you serving? Like, you serving like the 10 sack committee? Like, what the fuck, bro? But whatever, dude. I'm like, whatever. He's taking us to his plug. So he takes Josh over to his plug, right? Josh is gone forever. We try calling Josh. At this point, we think Josh is getting murdered or something. Like, we're about to go over and knock ourselves, right? Josh comes back ages later. He's like, oh, yeah, dude, I think we got the good shit this time, bro. I think we for sure got the good shit this time. We're all hyped as fuck. We're like, oh, hell yeah, hell yeah. Let's see this shit, dude. And this time it's in a bag. That's how you know it was serious. The last couple times it wasn't in a bag, but this time we went straight to the big man. We had a bag. We gather around, we open this shit up. We're expecting the Zaza, dude. We're expecting the fucking potent, bro. It's the same shit he's been serving us. So we're like, okay, well, we'll still smoke it. The price didn't go up, so we'll smoke it. But you really gotta ask him about that higher grade shit next time. So, of course, we send Josh over again. See, Cody and I refused to go over. We didn't like how country the guy was. We got a bad vibe from him. But Josh got along with him for some reason. Josh got along with him just fine. But me and Cody were like, dude, this guy is, like, too country, bro. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, he is, like, crackhead country. Like, this guy, when we first moved in, he was offering to do our porch for, like $100. Like, we had no porch. We just had these wooden steps up to our door, which was raised off ground level. And he was like, yeah, buy me the concrete, give me $100. I'll put the porch in and I'll mow your lawn. I'm like, damn, dude. I don't know, man. I listen, man. I don't know about. We did end up giving this guy $10 every week to mow our lawn. He was a good lawnmower, dude. He kind of did the job right. But, well, that's a later thing. But either way, so back on topic here. So we send Josh over once again the next day to get the weed, right? We're thinking like, oh, hell yeah, dude. He's going to have the good shit this time, fine and dandy. Send Josh over. This time, Josh comes back with the money still in his hand. And we're like, dude, what the fuck is that? Like, we're like, yo, like, was he not home? And he's like, oh, he was home. And we're like, okay, so, like, was he out of bud? And he was like, no. And we're like, well, like, what? Where's her fucking pack then, dude? And he was like, he's told me to stop fucking coming over so much and hollering on the porch. And I was like, what do you mean, dude? And I came to find out very quickly that, A, this neighbor was way more of a prick than he seemed to be at first. I think the only reason that he served us at first is because he wanted to seem like the cool buddy neighbor and kind of, pretended he sold weed. But then when we actually came over and, like, bought from him, he was, he just flipped a switch. Like, the day before, he drove us to his plug. And then the next day, he said, get the fuck off my property. So we're sitting there and we're like, what in the fuck do we do now, bro? We're like, shit. Absolutely fucked. And luckily, we ended up all hopping on Tinder and grinding around, and we found some other, we ended up matching with people who then introduced us to other plugs who weren't nearly as bad. But there's one other plug who I believe truly deserves the title of the worst plug I've ever had. And I actually tweeted a screenshot off this guy's private stories a while ago because it was so outrageous I had to share it with you guys. This motherfucker, to give you guys an idea, this was the plug who sells fake carts. This guy sells fake Cali packs, right? He'll sell fake runts or fake, like, other shit. There was even a point where this guy went so far where he tried to push snack packs, like the little Jello things, as quote-unquote Zan Jellos. I repeat, and we're going to throw this picture on screen. So for those of you guys who aren't looking at the screen, look on the screen, dude. Listen. This motherfucker actually tried pushing Zan Jellos, right? So as soon as I saw that, I said, man, I've had enough. That gives you, like, listen. First off, fundamentally, this makes no fucking sense, right? Sure, people have pill presses. Sure, people can buy fake packaging online. But how the fuck do you make a Zan Jello and package it? And this was completely dead ass. This man was serious. He used to sell crazy ass shit like this all the fucking time, dude. Literally all the time. There was one time where this guy tried to push some, like, psilocybin drink. He was like, man, I got these shroom sodas, man. You wouldn't believe it, bro. Man, come get your Dr. Pepper with the booms, man. This shit'll have you sent. Fucking Xanax Jellos. And how I met this guy was through a female who I usually call Ashley, right? She was a plug who I'd gotten, or he was a plug who I'd gotten through her one time, just to get some weed when I was fiending one night and no one else was available, right? And I picked up off this guy a couple times, and I came to realize really quickly what this guy is, like, what this guy's game is, right? So this plug, we're going to call him Andy. Andy was mainly a weed salesman, but his weed was all a finesse. And then everything he sold that wasn't weed was just fake. Like, if it wasn't weed, it was just straight up fake. He would have Zans that were just the fattest, chalkiest pieces of shit Zans ever, bro. But how I picked up from this guy is one night, it was like 3 in the morning and nobody else was serving. And this was actually during my Coat Chronicles era, right? And I hit this guy up and I just wanted to buy like a quarter, right? I just wanted a quarter of the best bud he had available. And this motherfucker, he's like, oh yeah, bro, I got some runts in. And I thought he meant the strain. Like, I was like, no way. Like, maybe the strain is runts. Like, no way he's going to actually sell me. Like, I thought he meant a strain or something. Like, maybe he was capping about a strain, whatever. I don't know why. I think there's no way I believe that someone was actually going to have the audacity to sell me fake runts, right? So I was like, cool, dude, I'll grab a quarter of it. This motherfucker throws out some crazy extravagant price, dude. He's just like, yeah, bro, I got you for $85. I'm like, what the fuck kind of price is that, dude? Like, that, like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, dude, that's my good deal, bro, just because you're coming to me. So I'm like, whatever, bro. I'm hesitant. I'm like, you know, whatever. I'll pay the shit. So I go to this fucking guy, still not understanding that it's like the fake packaged runts, right? I go to this guy. I've got my $85 fucking dollars, the weirdest amount of money for a serve ever. And I pull up. And first off, the guy isn't actually the one I buy off of. Andy did not actually show up. He sent who I assume was his girlfriend, right? So he sends this girl. This girl serves me. She pulls up in her car, and it's the sketchiest thing ever. We're on like a very main road under a street light. And like this is the location he gave me. So I pull up there, and I'm like, here. And all of a sudden, this car pulls around the corner, and it's this chick in it. And she's got her window rolled down, and she's like calling to you. She's like, yo. And she just like pulls up right next to me, as if no one else could possibly see us, and just does the exchange, just hands me the fucking bags. And once she hands me the bags and I realize I'm not getting like just a plastic baggie with a quarter in it, I realized what I just paid for. And I was like, oh man, dude, I bought actual like fake fucking runts, right? But I didn't care. I was like, dude, you know what? I'm just so desperate to get stoned. I was out of weed. Fuck it, bro. I was coming down off a nice little day of binging blow, and I needed to go to bed. So I was like, fuck it, right? So I go home with these runts packs, and I didn't really realize what I was getting into, but I pull it out, and it's like some purple PGR pack, dude. It's purple, and it looks like if it wasn't PGR pack, it would have been nice, but my God, these nugs are dense. You could have played basketball with these little fuckers, bro. Holy shit. Dude, I'm talking putting this through my grinder was actually, dude, it was like a gauntlet for my grinder to go through. The shit could barely handle it. It was some fucking garbage. Like, listen, selling things in fake packs is fucked no matter what. But when you're selling it in fake packs and then it fucking sucks anyways, like it doesn't even live up to the packaging, then you've got a problem. So from that point, I wasn't a fan, and I knew to never ask this guy for that shit, but he had a lot of other stuff, and I shopped with him a couple more times, 2 or 3 more times, before I learned my lesson finally, and they all went terribly. But then, what ended up getting me, I think this guy actually blocked me now fully. He took me off his private story, and then I just, like, kept talking shit to his stories until he fucking blocked me, right? But when I saw the Zangelo thing, I remember I was so outraged by it. I swiped up, and I was like, dude, do you think we're this retarded, bro? And me and this motherfucker got in this argument. He's like, fuck you mean, boy, man? You just can't afford these. Get your money up, bro, man. Man, the custies be loving the Zangelo. I'm like, all right, dude, that's phenomenal news, whatever, dude. We getting a little back and forth about it, right? Have our little exchange about it. Fuck that guy. He takes me off his private story, but on his public story, he still posts shit. And now I'm at the point where, like, I just don't like him. So I'm all the time, I'm just swiping up on all the stories. I'm like, damn, this shit, Reggie, bruh. Fucking, like, every time I see him trying to post some finesse, I'll just swipe up because I know it bothers him. So I'll just swipe up. I'll just be like, damn, this shit fucking trash, dude. Just fucking with him. And finally, the guy got pissed. We got in this argument, and he just blocked me one day, dude. Me and this guy, listen, fuck this guy, dude. Everything you serve, Andy, if you're out there, I hate you, dude. Everything you serve is terrible, dude. I'm actually very upset with you, Andy. Terrible. But ladies and gentlemen, that's got to be the worst plug I think I've ever had. The Xanax Jello plug. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did. Hey, I better see y'all motherfuckers in tonight's stream. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.